Hey Taurus. So, this is your July 1st through the 23rd tarot reading for 2023. We're focusing on these specific dates because of Cancer season. So, this reading is your Cancer season reading. It's going to give you a lot of indication on past events that are going to be popping up during this time. We're also going to look and see what current, present events will be happening for you. And then we're also going to see which signs are going to be suitable, beneficial, and familiar with you at this time. So the whole reason of this Cancer season reading is obviously to know what's going on for this time period, but it's also to help you understand how you as a person deal or cope or exist within the Cancer energy. And that is the frequency that we're in at this time. So Cancer does deal with emotional security. If there is no emotional security, chances are Cancer is going to be very shy. So Taurus, you are kind of a stable personality. The way that you are is the way that you are, no matter what season that we're in. But this time will kind of test and make you pay attention to what you are comfortable with, whether it's people, situations, circumstances, thoughts, stress, like how much stress can you take. Things like that will be shown to you during this time. So immediately what I'm seeing is there was a loss within your family. And somehow this is going to be very relevant during these days, during July 1st to the 23rd. There is a loss within the family, or maybe even a spouse, like someone lost their husband, someone lost their wife, but it could have been a mother. It looks like whoever this person was, they were a lot of things to a lot of different people. They were an aunt, they were a cousin, they were a sister, they were a husband, they were a wife, depending on who the person was. And so I feel like it affected a lot of people. We have the Sun in reverse. Yeah, nobody wanted this to happen. It almost seemed as if it wasn't unexpected, but nobody was ready for this time period. And I think you or a lot of the people in the family became very bitter because of the situation. And a lot of you and people around you became very restless because of the situation. I feel like there was no peace of mind. There was no peace when it came to the situation. Someone wasn't ready to let go. I feel like if this person was sick, right? If this person died over being sick, they really tried their best to keep it a secret. They didn't want anyone to know. They wanted to live life normal. They didn't want people to pity them and things like that. And I think because of that reason, maybe you didn't find out as early as you wanted to. And I feel like that had a major effect on how you felt about this person's passing. I feel like a lot of people, if this is like an anniversary of someone's, time that they passed away, it's coming up and it's like just the season alone, or if it's their birthday, but they're not here to celebrate it anymore. There's a lot of empty feeling. And what I don't see is any sort of recuperation. I just see a lot of thinking, a lot of very tight energy. Like someone is they're not loosened up, they're not relaxed, they're very uptight. And I think this is how you're feeling at this time period. Or it could be the person that is closest to the person that you lost. They're coming towards you and they're just kind of like, they're having a really hard time being relaxed or just being okay and accepting what has happened. They're not coping well. Yeah. King of Swords, Eight of Swords. Yeah, there's a lot of mental conflict happening. Someone's in denial with the part that they played or the situation that they're in at this time. They're very negative, either towards themselves or to other people. And it's a very restrictive, limiting type of energy because there is no solution. It's always just problems or negativity. And that can't be good for anyone. Two of Wands. There's been like a pause Yeah, this past situation, let me say this. Taurus, this past situation isn't really your past. It seems very current, as if like the effects have lasted into your now. Like it hasn't really ever gone away. Whatever this past situation is, it hasn't ever really gone away. It almost seems like it's here with you now. But it's just something that you are in denial about, or you don't pay attention to it. But that energy doesn't go away. It just finds its way into new avenues in your life. But because of it being Cancer season, and I do think this affects a lot of your emotional security, I think it's coming up and you can't ignore it now. Like, you can't ignore this. This present energy that you're having now, the events that you're having to deal with, is the Devil card. So if you find that you've been having an issue lately, or just an issue in general, like an addiction or a negative pattern, an obsession with something, I think there's a person attached to that. I also think that you have a very big part to play in the situation. But it seems like now this has to be confronted. It's not a darkness, it's like an uncertainty. But I almost feel like it's being in denial. I feel like you're having trouble coming to terms with something within yourself that you have to fix. And it's not going to go away until you confront it. Yeah, Queen of Wands. Five of Swords, yeah. You may have to apologize, or you may have to heal and forgive a woman who was very powerful. Either they had a lot of power over you, or you admire them because of their power. You respected them. This person was a go-getter, or they are a go-getter. And for whatever reason, you had an issue with them. You couldn't move forward. You felt stuck. You had very negative thought patterns towards this individual because you may have been jealous of them. Maybe they always got the attention, they always got the spotlight. And if you're honest with yourself, I think you're able to see that for whatever reason, you felt as if that person did not deserve the amount of shine that they got. And it really bothers you because I feel like, yes, you put in a lot of work. Yes, you did so much, but they got the shine. And sometimes that's just how life is, depending on personality, timing, charm, even appearance has a lot to do with who gets, attention for what. I think that you took it very personal, but I feel like it wasn't really something about them. It showed more about yourself, this type of jealousy or negative patterns toward this person. It wasn't that they were better than you. It's something that you were running from within yourself. Maybe they got all of the attention because you were afraid to accept the attention whenever it was given to you. Maybe it's not your place to always be in the spotlight, but you still have the same amount of credentials, talent, determination that this other person has. But I feel like you were watching their path, and so you were starting to neglect your own. I think it's time for you to confront this energy. And it's not an easy confrontation, and I feel like for whatever reason, this is something that you have to do by yourself. It's not something you have to go and maybe give a physical apology. Maybe you do. But I feel like it's something by yourself, like while you're watching this video, something you need to confront within yourself and let it go so you can have a lighter heart. So you can continue towards your next chapter, because there's a lot of darkness surrounding this person because of you feeling inadequate, or because you felt like you deserved more, or they didn't deserve as much as they had. But in all actuality, everyone gets what they deserve, regardless of how you feel about it. Because the only thing that she can do is focus on you and what you want to improve. Queen of Cups. Yeah. This is that Cancer energy we're talking about. Learning to be emotionally secure, emotionally intelligent. I'm also seeing the person that you had conflict with. You couldn't understand how they weren't necessarily the smartest, or they didn't work as hard as you, to be honest. They just didn't. And you couldn't understand, how is it that this person can do all of these things when they don't even put in the work? But what I think you failed to realize is their work was their personality, their charm, their appearance, their vulnerability, which is something that you may struggle with. Something as small as being vulnerable and making other people feel comfortable by being yourself, that's a skill. I tell people that all the time. It's not always that you know the most, or that you are the most qualified, or you have the most experience. Sometimes it's just as simple as making other people feel comfortable. And so they trust you. So sometimes business is not always business. Sometimes being a human is what creates and builds something that really stands the test of time. That's all it takes for some people. And I think this is the time for you to really accept that. It's okay. Because the lesson in that is not that you had to work 10 times harder. The lesson is that you are also a human and you have your own qualities. Now it's time for you to focus on your qualities and highlight them so that other people can feel them. So other people can notice what makes you such a special human. Okay, so no more comparisons. So there's a sign here, one sign in particular, Capricorn. Now, what I find very interesting about this sign that you're supposed to be closer to, or, around, this is the same energy of you getting past accepting what's happening between you and this person, or the same hurt. What am I trying to say? The same hurt that you felt, the same annoyance that you felt from this person not working as hard and still getting ahead. That's the same person that you're going to be learning to feel comfortable with. And I think that you can appreciate them much more once you are okay with who you are as a human. And I think that's where you're headed. You are becoming comfortable with yourself. So now you can actually like and admire the same things that made this person who they were. Isn't it funny how life works? All of this animosity and tension just for you to be like, oh, okay, maybe we are a good match. Maybe we do work out. Now we can combine our efforts instead of me trying to figure out how I can, why I can't get to where you're at, and vice versa. This person could also have the same thoughts towards you. How are they being so smart? How are they able to just keep going? How come they have such a beautiful lifestyle? Why can't I have that? You just never know what people are thinking. And I think this season for you in particular is going to show you so much about letting go and having acceptance, realizing your connection with people. Where do you stand? What are those relationships bring into your life? What do they take away from your life? Also, really being okay with the truth, accepting the truth, accepting what is there. And instead of having a victim mentality or a poverty mentality, actually stepping outside of yourself and saying, I'm just as valuable as everyone else here on earth. I'm not more than, I'm not less than. You're getting to a place of true power because you're realizing that it starts with yourself and that everyone else also has power as well. And so you can respect that in a person. Namaste, that type of vibe. So Taurus, this is your reading. Very important time for you within your self-growth, shadow work. Very, very important. All right, I'll see you in the next one.